Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Nemesis Retaliation. This will be my first solo playthrough of Retaliation on this channel, and I'll be playing true solo. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm all set up for a true solo playthrough of Nemesis Retaliation. I am playing today with the Heavy Gun Operator, and I am pretty excited to be getting this to the table. I have played this only one time before. I played it a couple days ago. I played with the Officer, and I should have known better than to start with the Officer. It was kind of similar to the Captain in the original Nemesis game, where it would be a lot more interesting to use that character when there are other characters. That one was not great for true solo. I imagine at other points in the future I will play this again, either with another character or multi-handed. I'd really like to try this multi-handed, but I thought I would start with true solo for today. And so the Heavy Gun Operator, obviously I have not played yet, but it seemed like that character would embody more of the differences between this game and previous Nemesis games more, so I thought it'd be a good one to showcase and to start with. Now, apologies in advance if I make any rules mistakes. I'll put anything on the screen if I catch it, but please do mention anything in the comments if I make any mistakes. Usually I like to play a game a little bit more than I have this one before I put it on the channel just to try and get it right, but I felt like I was in a little bit of a time crunch right now. I've got kind of a lot of things going on. I wouldn't play it on the channel if I didn't think I had it down, but I have less practice than usual, so keep that in mind. And I'm actually recording the playthrough before recording the rules refresher video, even though they're going to be released in the opposite order. And as usual, I'll give some thoughts at the end, but just a couple small things up front. This plays more differently than the original Nemesis game than I was anticipating, and I think that was a good thing. It was fun. But there's also enough here that you've seen before that it feels really familiar. And I thought that was a positive as well. The rule book was laid out pretty well. I didn't have too much difficulty learning the game high level, but when I did sit down to play my first solo playthrough off camera, I did find I had a number of questions along the way. So I can't, there's a lot of randomness in this game, so I can't promise anything, but I will try and demonstrate a few different things as best as I can. So a couple things to point out before we start. Obviously, I've got my character dashboard here, and I've got this reference card here. This is in the play area. The play area is fairly massive. That's as far as I can extend my arms out just sitting here. So it's kind of a reach to the other end of the table, and this is about as far as I can zoom out. So if I need to move these things, I may move them while I play, but right now the map's not built out. I've got a little room. I'll try and keep things a little bit centered. And then in solo and co-op mode, you use these solo co-op objectives, and you don't have two objective cards to choose from, so you don't really use this objective choice mechanism. So I have not placed the cube on that track there because that's not really a mechanism that exists. So in this true solo playthrough, I drew safety procedure. So what we're trying to do is the hibernatorium must be active by using the life support control in section C, and then one character must survive. And we are, of course, starting here in the landing zone. And so I do have 7 random support equipment cards for the Heavy Gun Operator, or I guess that I'm going to choose from. They're not specific to the Heavy Gun Operator. All characters minus the Contractor get to draft a second card from 7 random support cards, because everybody starts with 1 item except for the Contractor, who starts with 2. So from these 7 cards, I can pick 1. And the only one I definitely don't want is the hand cannon. I guess those stats stink, but I guess it's decent to have a backup weapon. But a lot of these do really interesting things. Supporting robot controller seems really useful for true solo, because there's some cards in here that allow you to do things if the adjacent room has a character or the robot in it. So being able to control the robot more easily would certainly be helpful. Grenades are super cool, so this grenade launcher looks neat. I think I'm most heavily leaning, though, towards heavy armor and tactical hatchet. Every time I use tactical hatchet, because it's a melee attack, I would gain a contamination. So I don't know if that's that great, but the heavy armor is really strong too, because I definitely definitely took a lot of heavy injuries, or serious wounds, I should say, the last time I played. But let's go with the hatchet. You know what? That seems pretty different to me. And then these just all go away. And now I've already shuffled them, but I'll just shuffle up my action cards here. I don't have any more tactical tokens to draw. I've got 2 on my starting weapon here, the BF gun. The tactical hatchet doesn't hold anything. And then my tactical belt, I've taken 1 of each thing because I don't really know what I'm going to need. So ammunition, grenades, a med kit, and oxygen tank. So let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards and get started here. What do we have? We've got rest, repairs. Those are kind of non-combat cards. They're kind of similar to cards you may recognize from previous Nemesis games. Chain of command, breakthrough, and continuous fire. Now, if I end up using the tactical hatchet, I'm going to have to place a malfunction on it. And then if any piece of equipment gains a malfunction when it already has a malfunction, then it's destroyed. So repairs will let me discard an action card to discard a malfunction, either from the room I'm in or from any of my stuff. So repairs is going to be really good with tactical hatchet should I need it. I don't need rest right now, but if I'm going to be using tactical hatchet, I'll be using rest. Chain of command, I don't really need at all for true solo, but the top effect could be useful to make this not escape shuttle. It's a lander. It's a lander. So I can maybe have the lander come sooner so I could use it to get out, but I only want to do that if I know the state of the anti-aircraft guns right there, which work the same way as engine tokens in Nemesis. So there's 2 tokens there. I don't know if they're on or not, so I don't really want to move it up yet. Breakthrough helps me get through corridors that have a lot of enemies in them, and continuous fire is also good for corridors. So there's nothing I need to do here in the landing zone, and I know we need to activate the hibernatorium to succeed here, and that has to be done through the life support control room in section C. So we need to get over to section C. So I think the way I want to do that is to head up this way and then probably go through the hibernatorium over to section C over there. So that's my goal. So I'm going to start by exploring here. So I need to discard an action card. This is my hand over here. I need to discard a card. Let's discard rest. No, what am I going to do? Chain of command. Let's discard chain of command to now move here. There's no enemies in this room or in this corridor, so there's no opportunity attacks. So I draw the top exploration card, and this is what we get. So we're going here. It says grab a section room, and we are in section A, so we're going to grab one of the 3 section A rooms at random, and we get the drilling station. All right, so what does that do? That allows the robot to add some corridors, okay? So we're going to move there, and then we add a corridor on the top left, out the right, and then the bottom right. So here's the next 3, and I'll draw them in that order. So top left, that's the number 1. And then the right side, and there's a door on this one, so we'll place the door towards the room that we're in. And then the last one is a number 3, and that goes here. So we've got a 1, a 1, a 3, and a 4. So rolling a 2 here would be fine. Rolling 1 would not be ideal, and it does not go up towards that hibernatorium, so I guess we're not going to be able to go that way. We also need to place a couple of noise tokens, so 1 in this corridor and 1 in this corridor. And the entrance effect says place 2 adults in the corridor you just passed through, so we're going to add 2 adults here. Unlike in previous Nemesis games, you are guaranteed we're going to be killing some adults in this game plenty of times. And then it says, then make a noise roll. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll roll for noise. We got a 4. So that is the 1 empty corridor. So that was good. A 2 would have been better because there are no 2s right now. But really, that was a pretty decent roll. So we're going to put this here. And that was the first action. So I still need to make my way towards Area C. I still want to kind of head that direction. So I'm going to go through Corridor 4 over to here, and then this room will necessarily connect to the hibernatorium. So then I can, I guess, still kind of go up that way. So let's get rid of this exploration card. And I need to figure out if I want to do a regular move or a cautious move. Maybe we'll try a cautious move this time. So I'm going to spend the rest card and the continuous fire card. I'm going to spend 2 cards. That's a 2-card action here to move cautiously, and I will go through corridor 4. So first, there are any opportunity attacks. There are no intruders, none of the prime bloods in the drilling station with me, and none in the corridor I'm passing through. So I'm going to go here and draw my next exploration card. And I get this one. Okay, so I need, what does this say? A section room, and this is going to be section B now attached to here. So let me grab the top one from that stack. Again, there's only 3 rooms in section, 3 section A specific rooms, 3 section B specific rooms, and 4 section C specific rooms, which is what we're looking for as a specific C one. All the rest are going to be question marks, but let's flip this over. This is the server room. And that's a bit far away. What does that say? That says use any discovered computer room in the facility or gain a data token if you don't have one. And I take it, if I understand it correctly, the data tokens are kind of, from the server room, are kind of like find the comms room and send the signal. That's kind of the same purpose. So let's get this connected here. Okay, so I move through here. I need to place a malfunction marker, and this room needs to have a corridor coming off the top right and straight to the right. Now, the top right one is there by default because of the hibernatorium. And you'll see there's no corridor coming off the left where we just came from. We just ignore that because obviously we came from there. So we just need to place one more here. So I grab the next one at random. There is a door on it, so we're going to have that facing the direction of the room that we just entered. And we need to place a noise token here in that corridor according to the diagram. Then reminder, place a secure token if you are moving cautiously. And this time I am, so we will place a secure token in the room with us. And then the entrance effect is close all doors around this room. And so that is just this one here. We're going to close it. I do have and prefer the doors from the Nemesis Lockdown stretch goals box. Those are really cool, but for this video, I'll use the ones that came with this game. Again, if you have not been watching this series, I know there was some sort of pop-up earlier, but I'll just remind you, this copy of Nemesis Retaliation was provided to me by the publisher Awaken Realms. But as always, I would not be playing it if it's not something I wanted to play. So just a little reminder, and that's why I'm kind of trying to show you the pieces that came with this particular game, just so you're aware. So we've placed the door, and then it says make a noise roll. Now, it's not always the case when you explore that you'll make a noise roll, but sometimes the card does not say that, but most of them do. So let's roll, and we get a 2. Oh no, that was a bad thing to roll in this specific circumstance. But in my experience, the Nemesis games have a real knack for knowing what your circumstances are. So we need to add a number 2 noise token to this corridor, or a noise token to this number 2 corridor here, and then this number 2 corridor, even though the door is closed, has a noise token in it, so we need to resolve it like this. So we're going to remove the token and draw from the bag. So we've got the bag here. We're going to draw one token. No, I got to get one. And yeah, it's a larva token. So we're going to place one larva in the corridor. And then whenever you remove a token from the bag, it always goes away unless it's a blank. So we're going to set the bag aside now and place a larva in the corridor. I don't have anything to really worry about there. So that was 2 actions. That is the end of my turn. I'm ending my turn in a section. I'm in section B, which does not have the life support turned on. So I need to lose 1 oxygen. And the room I'm in is not on fire, so I don't take any damage. And now it's my turn again. It kind of would go around the table here to the other characters in turn order and then come back to me. So it's my turn again. I still have 2 cards. I have Breakthrough and Repairs. And unlike in previous Nemesis games, there's really no benefit to me holding on to cards in between rounds. That doesn't have any effect on surprise attacks like it used to, if I'm understanding things correctly, and I think I am. So I might as well play these cards. The only reason I would keep them is if I wanted to, use them the next round. So I'm going to spend repairs to do a regular movement up into the hibernatorium. So there's no surprise attack, or there's no opportunity attacks here in the server room or in this corridor. So I'm going to go up here. I don't need to draw an exploration card because we've already got the hibernatorium on the map. And I can remove this undiscovered hibernatorium token here. And I guess I should have revealed this after my previous turn, because it says when any room is connected to the hibernatorium, that's when you can start placing these noise tokens like I did last time, which was fine, and reveal the robot card and then discard the token. So let's reveal which random robot we've got in this game. We have the military robot. That's actually the one that I had in the previous playthrough as well. So I happen to draw the same one twice, although I didn't use it last time. I don't know if I'll use it this time either. But this says, you can use the robot whenever you're in a room with a computer and you discard a card to take an action. So your action could be to move the robot once, or choose a corridor adjacent to the robot and roll a burst die. Deal hits equal to the result in that corridor, and if you get that sort of target symbol, then place a malfunction on the robot. Oh, and of course, the robot can be used not just when you're in a room with a computer, but also when you're in the room with the robot itself. And then one thing I forgot is that when you're in the server room, you can get that data token that I talked about. Another purpose of the data token is then you can remotely activate the robot from anywhere. So maybe it would have been a good idea to get that, but there's a malfunction there too, so I would have had to repair it. I did have the repairs card, but that's okay. That's where we're at. I'm going to remove this token now, and I moved into a room that was already on the map, so I just do a regular noise roll, and the Hibernatorium by default is corridors 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll probably roll the 2 since that's the only one with noise. 4, okay. Well, that was a good second choice because that's the direction I'm going. All right, and so I'm in the room with the robot. I wouldn't mind having it explore for me, but the robots cannot do any exploration. The exception being the one robot, and I've got the military robot this time, but there's an exploration robot, that one can. So what I might do is I might move the robot back to the server room, and maybe I can use that later. No, I don't want to use an action to do that. I don't know if that's going to be helpful. I think for my last action for the turn and for the round, I'm just going to do I've only got one card, so I can't do a cautious move. I think I'm going to do a regular move into Section C, although that seems real risky. Maybe I'll hold on to Breakthrough because I got a couple of attack cards here, so I don't know if I'm going to have any on my next draw. So maybe I'll just hold on to this and then plan on my next turn next round going into Section C. So my second action this round will be to pass, and then I'm going to, again, be in Section B without life support, so I lose 1 oxygen. I'm going to hold on to this card, and now we go into the next phase. And where the game used to be broken into the player phase and the event phase, it's now broken into a few more discrete phases, which really do the same thing. So the player phase is over. We now go to the intruder phase, where any intruders who are in a room with fire would take 1 damage, and then intruders in a room with a character would attack. Neither of those things applies right now, so we're going to move on to the event phase. First, we're going to draw an event card, and then we'll do bag development. So here's the first event card, and it is Fire Breath. That sounds bad. So first, all intruders in horizontal corridors, such as this one, try to move. That only applies to this one. Like this is a right facing, and this is a left facing corridor in my mind. This is a horizontal one. So only this one will try and move. It tries to go through this door and breaks it. The larva breaks the door. That's pretty impressive. Then all intruders in every room move. Now all the intruders here are in corridors, so we don't have any in rooms. Next, in each room with a fire token, and there are none yet, so we won't have to do this, spread fire to all neighboring rooms in sections with life support. So that's interesting. So there's no oxygen in the rooms right now, so if we left the life support off, the fire wouldn't spread. That's pretty neat. It doesn't apply in any case in this situation. All the life support's off and there's no fires. And then each character makes a noise roll. So I want to avoid 2s and 4s. A 1 would be fine with me. We get a 3. I'll take a 3 as well. So a little bit of noise right there. That's fine. And that's it for the event. Not too bad on that one. But as the map expands and the game progresses, you can see how the events are going to get tougher. Now we're going to do bag development. So that's similar to previous games. So now at least we've got this nice reminder card right on the table. So I drew an adult. So that says this comes out of the bag, and we add 2 queen tokens to the bag. So let me grab those. And whereas the adult and drone tokens have hidden info on the back, the queens and the larva are just queens and larva on the backside. So there's no hidden info on those. They're all the same. And the 1 blank token is always the same as well. So now we're going to mix that up a little bit and put it back off to the side. That's it for the event phase. Now we go to the cleanup phase. So the starting player would change. The first player token basically would pass that around. We're going to draw action cards and advance time. So I've got 1 card in my hand. I need to draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 1 left in my deck here. And then we're going to advance the time track to Space 2. I will say that my 1 full playthrough as well, my solo, true solo playthrough with the officer, I was dead by the end of round 4. So it was kind of a short game. We've got Breakthrough. which we held, and then forcing fire, so you can spend an ammo token from your ranged weapon to repel all intruders from the room. We've got search, we kind of know what search does. Fast reload, choose a ranged weapon and perform in any order. Place your ammo token on the weapon and shoot or burst. It's kind of nice that you can choose the order. So you could fire your last shot and then reload it. And then demolition, destroy one accessible door or place a malfunction in your room. Now, the search card is interesting in this game because what they've done is they've put icons on the room tiles, similar to previous games, to say what kind of items are in those rooms. But for each icon on the room, you draw one item from that deck. And then from those that you've drawn, you keep one and discard the rest. So in this drilling station, you get 3 technical items. The server room, you get a technical item and a military item. So instead of rooms generally having just one type of item and it's draw 2, pick 1, it's different combinations of items. So I do like that. That's pretty interesting too. But I think what I'm going to do now is a cautious movement. I'm going to spend demolition and fast reload to go into section C. So I'm going to go through here. There are no opportunity attacks, so I need to draw an exploration card. And we get this one here. So place a room of these sections. So we're going to grab a section C room, which is good because again, there's 4 of those and we're looking for one specific one. And so we get escape shuttle. Okay, neat. I haven't seen that one yet. So the escape shuttle is another way out of here. So that's really cool. And it does not interact at all with the anti-aircraft guns. So, but it only can take one person. So this is really convenient that we found an escape shuttle here in section C. If we can just activate the hibernatorium, then we can get in the escape shuttle to get out rather than I guess the other option would be go to the hibernatorium, but it's like one step further probably, or getting all the way back to the landing zone, having the anti-aircraft guns off, and then having the lander show up. That's a lot more difficult. So I kind of like that we found that. Now we would add corridors coming off the top right, the right, and the bottom right. Obviously we can't do the top right, but we can do the other 2. So I'll draw 2 more corridor tiles. So to the right, we have a number 2. And to the bottom right, we have a number 1, and the door is facing us. We would add a noise in the top right, but that one doesn't exist. We're going to add a malfunction token here in the escape shuttle room. So that is something we would have to deal with if we want to use the room for its function. We did do a cautious movement, so we're going to add a secure token. So this goes right there. And now we make a noise roll because that is the entrance effect. So here we go. Anything but a 4. A 3 would be the best because there is no number 3 off this room. A 4. Oh, that's the way it goes, huh? All right, so we'll remove this noise token and remove this exploration card. And so we're in a corridor, so I'm going to draw from the intruder bag, get a token, and then check the back side of it. And we're going to get an adult token, and it has just a white number 3 on the back. So that means we're going to add 3 adults to that corridor. If there was a red number, we would add that many drones. It's usually a combination of adults and drones. Now, I would really like that robot to be with me to do a burst fire, but I can't. All right, this gets removed, and that was my first action. So for my second action, I think I'm just going to do a regular search. And this escape shuttle room has a green medical item and a red military item. So I draw one of each of those cards, and I get, what is this? A med kit and ammo. So let's see what these say. The med kit says discard 1 serious wound and restore 3 health. That's super strong. The ammo says you may use this item for fire immediately. Oh, for free immediately after gaining it, and you would gain 1 ammo token. I don't really have anywhere to spend an ammo token though, so that's not great. So I'm going to keep the med kit, and then you can see this is my backpack here. That's normally where I would place the card holder, like so, but then if I place my cards in it, you're not going to be able to see them there. So that's why I'm not using it. So this is in my backpack. So I may need that later, but that was 2 actions. So my turn is over. I'm in section C. The life support is off. So I am going to lose 1 oxygen. It goes down to 4. Now the turns would kind of go around the table again, and it comes back to me. I've got breakthrough and forcing fire. Breakthrough I don't really want to use. I wouldn't mind doing a burst roll here to take those 3 guys out, but breakthrough would have me then move through that corridor, and that's going the wrong direction. I kind of want to go a different way. And I think what I'm going to do is spend both breakthrough and forcing fire on a cautious movement. And I'm going to go southeast through corridor 1. I kind of want to go this way because if that happens to be the room that I am looking for where I can turn on the hibernatorium, then I would be less likely to be placing corridors on these outsides because that's sort of the edge of the map. So I would have fewer corridors potentially when I do a noise roll. The only one I could be adding would be this one here. Then again, if it's not the room I need, and there's a good chance it won't be, then I'm going to have to backtrack, and that's going to be kind of a pain. And potentially I'll be forced to fight off some enemies as well. So I'm going to come down this way. There are no opportunity attacks in this room or in this corridor, so now I draw an exploration card, and I get... Yeah, exactly. This, if I had gone here, that would not have added any corridors at all. But I'm coming this way. So I need to get another section room. That's helpful. And I get the reactor. That is not what I needed. Okay, so the reactor is kind of like the self-destruct. Not exactly like the self-destruct, but this would basically shut off all of the life support because it would have me remove all the life support tokens. And as you can see, under the tokens, it's permanently off. So all the life support would be off for the rest of the game. I would remove, actually, the self-destruct token or the auto-destruct token and the anti-aircraft tokens, which I think would turn off those. Inactive, yes. They would be inactive, which is not bad, but there'd be no more life support, which I guess is good for fires, but bad for breathing. So anyway, that's the sort of stuff this room can do. Let's add our corridors, and they're going to be going northeast, east, and southeast. So let's grab 3 more corridors. And this is sort of intuitive to me, but these are all marked with a north, and there's a north, okay, can't reach. Way up in there, you can see it. There's a north indicator there, so you can't rotate the card to do it in a different direction. It always has to go the way the card says. So this will be the northeast one. This is a number 2 corridor, so we've got a 1 and a 2. Now, there we go. To the east, this one will have a noise token in it. This one's a 3. And then to the southeast, this one's a 4. Look at that. None of them have any doors. I mean, this corridor does, but it's on the escape shuttle side. And then we need to add a noise token to the number 3 corridor. So this goes here. And I did do a cautious movement, so we're going to secure the room. So here's a secure token. And the resolve effect is we are going to have an encounter here. So we're going to have one of these. We're going to resolve it in the room. So let me draw from the bag. I can just remove this card now. So we're not going to be rolling for noise. We're just going to get an intruder in the room. Oh, although looking at it now, this cannot be here because we couldn't put a room on the other side. So that would be outside the facility. I wonder if we can still have the corridor or if you have to be allowed to have a room on the other side. This is one of those questions where you think you get it until you start playing the game. So let me look it up. And there you go. There's a helpful little diagram on page 19. This is like the maximum size of the facility. So we're in this room here and you cannot have a corridor coming off the east side like that. So we're going to remove that corridor and therefore its noise token. So this will just be discarded. Okay, and now we were resolving an intruder entering the room. So we will get, the queen, that makes sense. So activate the queen, if not possible, place her in the rooms. We're going to place the queen in the room because she's not on the map yet. And again, unlike previous Nemesis games, you can basically always expect to run into the queen in this game. So the queen comes out. Anytime an intruder enters your room for any reason, they attack you, but we have a secure token, so we get to discard the token rather than be attacked by the queen, which is, I guess, a good thing. But the timing is still pretty unfortunate because that is the end of my turn. So with my turn over, and I'm in section C, which has the life support off, I'm going to lose another oxygen. I'm down to 3. And now that's it for the player phase. So we go to the intruder phase, and that's not going to be very good. The intruders first take fire damage, and then they attack characters. So the queen is going to attack me now, and there's no more secure tokens in the room. So I'm going to have to resolve this attack. So we draw the top attack card off the deck. And this says for adults, drones, and queens. If you are heavily injured, we are not, we are fully healthy, you die. Otherwise, gain 1 serious wound and 1 contamination. So here's the contamination, and the serious wound is a body wound. So this says, what does this say? During the drawing action card step, draw action cards until you have 4 action cards in hand instead of 5, okay? Similar to previous effects. And we place this as far left as possible. And if there's a cube in the way, you move it. So now I'm injured. got this serious injury. So I've been bitten. Now we've resolved that. And now we go to the event phase, starting with drawing an event card. And we have leaving the shell. So no intruders move. That's interesting. Each character infected with a larva, which I'm not, I don't have a larva on my character board, would gain a contamination card, discard all action cards, and reshuffle their deck, then resolve the occlusion procedure. Each other character draw 4 cards and resolve the infection procedure, then discard all cards. So I'm going to draw 1 card, and then I need to shuffle my deck, which now has 1 contamination card in it. I'm going to draw 3 more. Then I'm going to resolve the infection procedure. Is that what I think I called it contamination, but the infection procedure. And then I'll discard all my cards. And then I'm going to reshuffle the event deck, which is only 2 cards deep right now. All right, these are pretty well shuffled, I think. So the 4 cards I draw, I had secure, and I draw chain of command, contamination, and demolition. So these 3 are just going to get discarded. But I have to do the infection procedure for the contamination card. So I do like that the back of the book on page 38 here, they just have all the procedures on one page. So infection, occlusion, auto-destruction, and escaping or hibernating. But this would have been nice to have a card kind of like this too, to just reference real quick on the table rather than bust the book out. But we've got the infection procedure here. So we're going to scan all the contamination cards in hand, which is just this 1 card. And basically if it's infected, I gain a larva, and then regardless of whether it's infected or not, it goes back into my discard pile. So let's get my scanner, which remains unchanged from the previous games, and add this card. It's always real tricky to see, and I'm sure it won't show up on camera, but this one is not infected. So that's at least good to know, and now it goes on top of that pile. So that is it for this event. So I'm going to take this and reshuffle it into the event deck along with the Fire Breath card from the first round. And if you're looking to have the authentic table for 1 experience of playing this game, make sure you drop all those cards on the floor as you shuffle them as well. So now that that part's done, we would pass the first player token. I would draw my cards. I'm only drawing up to 4 because I have this body injury. At least we know the contamination card's not in there. So we have continuous fire, repairs, fast reload, and forcing fire. And now we're going to advance the round tracker. We're on round 3. Again, last time I played, I died on round 4. I've got the queen in my room on round 3. This feels about right. I do need to find that other room that I'm looking for, though. I think it makes sense for my first action to spend forcing fire. I spend 1 ammo from my ranged weapon. And so that'll be my BF gun. It's got full ammo. So to spend 1, I'm going to flip one of these over to its half spent side. And then all intruders in the room are repelled. So I'm going to repel the queen. I choose the direction, and I think I want her to go up towards that corner. So get in the corner, leave me alone. She leaves the room. Now I've got another action to take, and it would be fun to attack the queen, especially with continuous fire. But I think what I need to do right now is continue exploring and searching for the room I'm looking for. So I'm going to come, I guess I've got to come down this way down this corridor 4 to hopefully find that other C room. And so I'm going to spend fast reload to do that. Or maybe I should heal up. Maybe that would be a good idea before I move. So that has to be done not in combat. You know what? Let's do that. Let's spend fast reload to use medkit. Discard 1 serious wound and or restore 3 health. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty sweet. We'll get rid of these now. That was pretty sweet that I didn't have to muck around with dressing the serious wound first. That was convenient. So that was 2 actions, though. I repelled the queen, and then I took care of my injury. So I'm still in section C with no life support. I need to spend an oxygen. It's down to 2. And now it comes back to me. I take a new turn, and I will spend continuous fire now to explore down here. So I'm going to go through corridor 4. There's no opportunity attacks, so I draw an exploration card. And I get this one here. We won't be able to add those 2 corridors, but we can add this one here. It says place room A, B, or C type, so that's good. I'm starting to wonder what happens if you've got some bad exploration card draws, and it just becomes impossible to draw the room that you need to complete your mission. I don't know if that's possible mathematically or not. I haven't gone through the deck, but it's just a thought that I had. But anyway, we draw another C-type card, so let's hope it's the one we need, or C-type room rather, and we've got it here. And life support control, that is indeed what we need. So that's good. We enter the room. We need a corridor here and here, but those would both lead out of the facility, and then one down here. So we're just going to draw one corridor, and I'm kind of running out of space here, so let me just slide down. Luckily, the way the player board is set up, all that stuff slides pretty easily, so that's convenient. Slide down to here. Okay, so this is a number 3 corridor, and there's no door, so the facing doesn't matter. And now what do I need to do? This was not a cautious move, so I'm not going to add a secure token. An entrance effect is place 4 adults in the corridor you just passed through, then make a noise roll. Wow. So I guess it would make sense that something like that would happen after I had just encountered the queen and got her to repel. She sent a bunch of adults after me. So I'm going to make a noise roll. I'm connected to a number 4 corridor and a number 3 corridor. And if I roll a 4, one of those, is going to enter the room, which I don't want. I would much rather keep them out there. So let's not roll a 4 or this resolve icon either would not be good. Like a 1 or a 2 would be ideal. We get a 4, man, every time. So one of the adults enters the room, and whenever an intruder enters a room with a character, they attack. I don't have a secure token, so I'm getting attacked. I draw the next card, and we get tail attack. This is an adult or drone, so we're going to lose 1 health and gain a contamination. So I don't love getting the contamination, but that certainly could have been worse. So we'll discard that card. Now, I do like that these cards just have all these different effects for whatever type of intruder you've got that you're facing. I always appreciate multi-purpose cards. So that was my first turn, was just exploring this room, or my first action, I should say. And for the second action, I think... I don't really want to take another attack from this adult, but I really don't want more adults coming from that corridor into the room with me. That'll be harder to deal with. So I think I am going to burst fire into the corridor I'm spending this repair card. So I'm going to fire a burst into the corridor. I double check the rules, and I don't see any reason why I couldn't do a burst fire in this corridor, even though there's an intruder in my room. So this guy came in here, but I'm going to just sort of fire past him down this way. So I'm going to roll the purple burst die, which is a 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess I'm using my BF gun. So let's roll it. All right, I rolled a 3, and whenever you do a burst, you do have to spend an ammo token, so I'm going to spend this one off the BF gun. Probably should have spent it first, but it doesn't matter. I rolled a 3, so I can assign 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Now all those adults in that corridor are gone, so they're out of my way for later. Of course, I still have an adult in the room I'm in, and I will have to take care of that at some point, and it's going to try and take care of me in the meantime. But at least I'm not going to have more adults in the room, because that'll be even more difficult to take care of. So that was my second action. In section C, there's no oxygen, so I go down to number 1 now. So it's starting to be time where I'm going to need this oxygen here. I don't think I can... Oh, I can do that in combat. I can use my oxygen. So, but I don't really need to, because I'm in this life support control center. So once I'm able to kill this adult and then activate it, I guess I'd have to activate it twice. I can turn on the Hibernatorium, and then I can also turn on the life support in this section. So that might be useful to do. So anyway, that's it for my turn. Now it's the intruder turn. None of them are on fire, but one is in a room with a character, so that one is going to attack. And we draw Fury. This is an adult, so lose 2 health. 1, 2. And gain 1 contamination. So I'm taking some injuries here. I've got 3 contamination cards now, but I'm not too worried yet. Now it's time for the event phase. Let's draw an event card. And I've got No Way Out. All intruders in each this way facing corridor move. So that's going to be 2 of them. The queen is in one of those corridors, so it's going to move once towards the closest character, and these 2 adults are in one of those corridors. They're going to move 1 time towards the closest character. Then all intruders in every room move. Now that, of course, ignores this room here because that intruder's in combat. So the queen is going to come into this corridor, and these are in a corridor or in a room, so they're going to move to this corridor. And the larva here and these 3 adults are in corridors, so they are not moving during that step. Then place 4 adults in each non-reinforced corridor adjacent to the landing zone. Boy, that is a lot of plastic. So for reference, because I haven't done it yet, a reinforced corridor, you can It's one of your actions. You can reinforce a corridor and you flip it over and it's on the 0 side. So it'll never come up with a noise roll. So that's really cool mechanic. So here's the landing zone. None of them are reinforced. So I'm going to add 4 intruders to each of those, 4 adults. And again, the limit in each corridor is 6 intruders max, but the queen counts as 4 by herself. So we got those 4, and 4 over here, all presumably wanting to go outward. So that makes me even more not want to go to the landing zone. I think the way out of here for me is going to be to, one way or another, get back to that escape shuttle, but the hibernatorium will be an option as well. Now, interestingly, in previous games, characters who are in combat would not make a noise roll, but I did not see anything about that in the rulebook, so I think I am making a noise roll. So we're going to do that, make a noise roll. I'm in a room, we got a 3, so we're going to add a noise token to corridor 3. At least that didn't make anything worse. Now we can get rid of this event, and we go to bag development. So there's not many tokens left in this bag. I guess there's a few. There's like 4 in there. We get adult. So what do I do with that in bag development? Add 2 queen tokens to the bag. So the adult goes away, and we add 2 queen tokens. So there's a higher likelihood of the queen activating. So again, when the queen activates, that just means that the queen moves towards the closest character, or if there's a character in her room, then she attacks. Now we would pass the first player token. We're going to draw our cards and advance the round marker. We are on round 4, and this time I get 5 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have to shuffle my discard pile so I can get back up to 5 cards. At least I got rid of that body serious wound, so I don't have to only draw up to 4 this time. So what do I need to do? I need to kill this adult before I can activate the room. And then I'd like to activate the room twice. So I could do this. I could use this tactical hatchet to deal a killing blow instead of rolling the shoot die. And I would gain a contamination for that, but it would get rid of the adult in 1 action guaranteed. And then I would have 4 cards left to take the room action twice. And then I would not have to worry about oxygen either. So that would be good. And if I can get back to that escape shuttle at some point and repair that room, that's the way I'd like to get out of here. And then I wouldn't have to worry about life support at all, so I would never have to use my oxygen. One less thing I need to do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess if any of these are contamination cards, though, I won't have enough action cards to do what I just said. And yep, there's exactly 1 contamination card, so that's a bit painful. Chain of command, rest. I could use rest to potentially get rid of this contamination card, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend rest to use my tactical hatchet. So I do a melee attack, which gains me a contamination, but then I deal a killing blow instead of rolling the shoot die. So that kills this adult, and I place a malfunction token on that weapon. Now, I believe this item is out of commission as long as that malfunction token is on it. I don't think I can choose to use it again, but if it should somehow gain another malfunction token, then it is destroyed and I remove it from the game. So I took 1 action. Now I need to take 1 more, and I'm not going to be able to do both life support and the hibernatorium, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to double back. So I'm just going to hope that I can get through here with enough oxygen. So I'm going to spend search and chain of command to take the room action, and I'm going to flip the hibernatorium over. So I'm going to activate the hibernatorium. All right, so that was the goal here for the safety procedure. So now we just need to survive the mission. But that was 2 actions, and we are in a section where the life support is off. So this is going to go down to 0, which is pretty bad. And I think I want to hold on to breakthrough, because that would help me get out of here. So what I'll probably do... Oh, well, I can't... And I can't... If I want to use that, then I can't spend it on oxygen. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm kind of in a tough spot. I'm going to... spend breakthrough, because I'm not in combat, to add a secure token to this room, and just pray that that helps me survive through the next round. So that is the end of this round. I'm going to discard my contamination card, but I've gone through another series of turns. So my second action is pass. I'm out of action. So now this oxygen goes to this suffocating space. So I grab one of these tokens. That's really bad. I'm suffocating. Next time I lose oxygen, I die. I can discard this token when I gain oxygen or when I end my turn in a section with life support on. It's the same thing on both sides. So that, that's a little worrying. But now we go into the intruder phase. No intruders are in rooms that are on fire, and no intruders are in a room with a character. So nothing happens there. We now draw an event card. So we get Protect and Serve. This one says all intruders in horizontal rooms or in horizontal corridors move. So these are in horizontal corridors. So these are going to move into the landing zone because they're going to try and move towards me. So that's like their only path. These are in a horizontal corridor, so they're going to move into the server room. These, oh no, they go into the escape shuttle. I'm going to have to deal with that. And then all intruders in every room move. So there's only 2 in this room can move because now this corridor is going to be full. Oh man, they're going to make a big mess of things. I know 6 is the limit, but it is tight depending on which models you've got. There's all these tactical tokens. Oh, geez. All right, these, I'm not messing with that. These are here. What else am I doing? These 2 are in a room, so they're going to move. Oh, I didn't notice this one was in a horizontal corridor, so this one would have moved as well. It's with that group. These are going to come down here. That's maybe a better place for them, actually. And then we're going to place 2 drones in the room or corridor with the queen. They do not attack. So the queen is worth 4, and then the 2 drones are going to bring this corridor up to 6. So that corridor is full. So that's pretty dangerous. And now each character in a room without a secure token resolves an encounter. Oh man, I am glad I put that token there. All right, so that was that event. I got kind of lucky, although my pathway is certainly pretty blocked. And now I need to do bag development. So we're going to draw a token out of this bag. And we get a larva. Okay, so I remove this and add 2 random drone tokens to the bag. So I'm pretty lucky I didn't draw a queen there because she would have activated and entered this room, and then that would have been a whole other thing to deal with. So now we would pass the first player token. We go into round 5. So this is officially the furthest I've ever made it into this game. And I draw my 5 action cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. I've got Demolition, Continuous Fire, Forcing Fire, Fast Reload, and Repairs. Interesting. So I did not get a contamination. I think I need to somehow make a break for that escape shuttle, especially while I have repairs. It's too bad I don't have a way to get into there and then close that door and then repair it, but just not enough actions. But man, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna get out of here? You know what I think? I think I'm gonna spend Demolition to first gain some oxygen. So I'm gonna basically spend Demolition to use a tactical gear token. So that's gonna give me 3 oxygen. 0, 1, 2, I guess. Advance it 3 times. I guess I advance it past the 0. 0, 1, 2. So that token is spent, and now I can get rid of this. And maybe the key to survival is just hanging out here for a second. I know they're going to come this way, but I'm going to have to go through them one way or another. So maybe I'd be better off taking my time. I'm going to spend, man, this is tough. I think Continuous Fire and Forcing Fire, even though I really wanted to hold on to Forcing Fire. I'm going to spend those 2 to take the room action, and I'm going to turn on the life support in this section. All right, those were my 2 actions, so that's the end of my turn, and I'm in a section with life support, so I'm not going to lose any oxygen. Okay, now it goes around the table, comes back to me, and I'm going to use Fast Reload for its effect. So I'm going to choose a ranged weapon. I'm going to choose my BF gun and perform in any order. I can place an ammo on the weapon, and I can shoot or burst. I'm going to burst, and I'm going to, let's place the ammo first and then spend it to do a burst fire into this corridor. So I'm going to roll, and it's important that I don't destroy my weapon in the process. So wish me luck. 2. Okay. That's not really that great. I guess I don't know what I was thinking. That's enough to take out one of the drones. So that's what I'll do. I'll take out 1 drone, which I guess is better than nothing. And I'm going to hold on to this repairs card because I'm going to need it to get out of here. And I've got a lot of contamination in my deck, so I don't want to get all the way to the escape shuttle and then just have to be cycling through this. So I guess I'm going to pass for my other action. And again, I'm in a section with life support, so I don't need to lose any oxygen. So then there are no intruders with rooms with fire, and none of them are in rooms with a character. So we go to the event phase. I draw an event card, and I get life support failure. No, that is not good. So all intruders in, again, these horizontal rooms, or these rooms going up and to the right, are going to move. So all 6 of these will go into this room. What else? These 3 come into the hibernatorium. And that's it. And then all intruders in every room move. That's going to be really bad. These 2 are going to go here. These 6 are going to go there. Just falling all over the place. This is a lot of pieces to have to move. And they can't share this corridor with noise. So they just entered a corridor with noise. We're going to get rid of the noise token. I think that I maybe should have done that sooner at another point. Like right there. They went through there. These all go here. That's bad. And, oh, they're not in rooms, so they don't move. Okay, well, that's still really bad. Then flip all life supports to their deactivated side. Man, I worked so hard for that. And then place a malfunction token in each life support control room. Well, at least I took care of the hibernatorium. And then place a noise in each unexplored corridor without a noise token. So an unexplored corridor is just one that doesn't have a room on both ends of it. So this will be any unexplored corridor that doesn't already have intruders in it. That's an important caveat. 1 there and 1 there. I think that's all of them. Okay, that was something special. And now we need to do bag development. There's a really good chance the queen's going to activate. We get, oh, the blank. What does that do? Add 2 random adult tokens to the bag, and then the blank always goes back in. So 2 adults. 2 of these go in the bag. Okay, better than getting the queen, I guess. So now the round advances again. We go into round 6. I'm going to draw 4 more action cards because I still have 1 in hand. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 2 contaminations secure, and I need to shuffle these and draw 1 more card. Honestly, it might be good if I got rest. Although I'm going to start losing oxygen again unless I repair this room and then fix the life support a second time. Which, what a pain that would be. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right, this has gotten pretty out of hand. So I don't have much I can do. I'd still like to hold on to repairs. I could just play the secure card and put 2 more secure tokens down in this room and hope that that helps me survive. So this is going to be a real quick round. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to play secure to place 2 tokens. So here's 2 more secure tokens in this life support control room for section C. And I can't even repair it with repairs because I've got all these contamination cards. I got nothing to spend. So my second action will be to pass. There's no life support, so I'm going to lose an oxygen. And that is it for the round. I'm going to discard these 3 contamination cards. So hopefully I've got a decent deck to draw from. And again, no fire, no intruder attacks. We draw an event card. And so damage. All intruders in horizontal corridors are going to move. So these 6 will come into the server room. And what else? Oh, I guess I can get rid of these noise tokens. Looks like that's it. Then we're going to place a malfunction marker in each room with intruders. So no intruders, no intruders. This one's already malfunctioning. No, already malfunctioning. That's it, okay? And then each character in a room without a secure token resolves an encounter. I've got secure tokens, so I don't have to do that. So that appears to be a mechanic that we might see multiple times. So a good idea to have those secure tokens. Now I need to do bag development. So, not queen, not queen, not queen. We've got an adult. Add 2 queen tokens to the bag. So that puts off my problem, at least until the next bag draw. And now we advance the round marker again. It comes to 7, and I'm going to draw 4 more cards. Hopefully, cards that will help me get the heck out of here. 4 more cards. We get search, contamination, rest, and forcing fire. Man, oh man, how am I going to make this work? I am just going to have to go for it. I'm going to keep forcing fire. I'm going to spend rest to move from life support control C to the reactor. And so to do that, I'm going to pass through, obviously, that corridor, and I'm going to get attacked first by the queen and then by the drone. So let's draw an attack card for the queen. So we get Deadly Claws for the queen, lose 2 health. I guess I'm getting pretty low on health, huh? And gain 1 contamination. Certainly didn't need that. And then I'm going to get attacked by the drone. And the drone is going to do a tail attack, drone, gain a contamination. I'm going to just draw a hand of all contamination cards in a minute here. And now I need to make a noise roll. So I would really like to roll a 3 because there's no 3 adjacent to this room. We rolled, what the heck is that? An encounter? Come on, man. Okay, I got to draw a token and then resolve it in this room. That's not good. That's not good at all. I got the queen, so the queen is going to activate. So that means she's going to enter this room because she's adjacent to it. So she enters the room and attacks immediately. So this says Deadly Claws, queen, lose 3 health. 1, 2, 3, 1 more hit and I am done. And that was my first action. What an action that was. And so I don't think I have any choice. I think I have to use Forcing Fire now as my second action. Spend an ammo from a ranged weapon. So this one goes away. It's spent to repel all intruders from the room. So that's going to be the queen. Why don't you get out of here? You're repelled. That was 2 actions. So this oxygen is going to go down again. So it's at 0. Now it's my turn again. And I'm going to spend Search to throw a grenade. I've got a grenade here, so I'm going to spend a grenade. I'm going to throw it in this corridor here, corridor 1. So let's roll the burst die, although maybe I should have just actually searched for an item, and maybe a technical item could have given me some oxygen or something. I don't know. Let's roll it. So we got a 4 plus 2 is 6. I do 6 damage in that corridor. Most of it's wasted. I do 3 to take out these 3 adults, and that's it. That was my action. Oh, and you know what? I forgot the Hibernatorium is active. I could try and get in there instead. Shoot. I don't know how in the world I'm going to do that, but I guess I didn't need this repair card, which means I could have probably repaired this and turned the oxygen back on and not been on the brink of death. But whoopsie daisy. And I don't really want to move. I mean, I want to get over there, but oh boy, maybe I'll get really lucky. Oh no, I was going to say, why don't I just explore this way? But there's no corridor there. I can't go that way. Oh man, yeah, I think I'm done for. But I'm just going to spend repairs to put a secure token in this room and then discard contamination. I think that's the best option, but I'm kind of done, I think. I think I'm out of oxygen. I'm toast. So that was it for, what am I doing? What did I do? What was my second action? What was my first action? I don't know. I've confused myself on how many actions I took, but discarding contamination, I think I took an even number of actions. I think I took 4 actions. So pass should be the end of my round. So I lose an oxygen. I am suffocating again, which is not good. If I could have stretched that maybe 1 more round, it would have been still possible to get to the Hibernatorium, but I think now I'm dead. But let's keep going. Let's find out. So no fire, no attacking. So we draw an event card. And we have hatching. All intruders and corridors facing that way move. So that's going to be these. And that's it. Then place a larva in the nest. There is no nest right now. And place a larva in each unexplored corridor adjacent to a character. So that's going to be a larva here. I think that's the least of my problems right now. Resolve a noise in each unexplored corridor. Oh boy, that's going to take a minute because we already put a noise in each unexplored corridor. So that's going to start the top left corner and just move this way sort of in reading order. So we're going to get this one first. So we're going to be placing a lot of plastic just before this game ends. So let's draw. We got a blank. Add 2 random adult tokens to the bag and put this back in. That's interesting. So here's 2 more adults. Drop them in there. And now we've resolved that noise token. Now we get to that one next. Let's draw a token. We get the drone. So that means, we flip it over because we're in a corridor. 2 adults plus a drone in this corridor up here. So here's the drone, and here's 2 adults. All right, now we go here. We've got to resolve that one. That's an unexplored corridor. We get, Another drone one. One adult and one drone. Interesting. I know there's a lot of queen tokens in that bag. I just need one of them, and that'll be it. So there's the drone and the adult. Come this way. That's an unexplored corridor. Let's draw for that one. We get adults. Man, oh man. 2 adults. I guess we recently did draw a couple of blanks that threw some adult tokens in the bag. What's next? This is unexplored with a noise token. Oh, but that noise token should be gone because we placed a larva there. So now we keep going. This one's unexplored with a noise token, so we draw for that corridor. There's a queen. Okay, so resolve in a corridor. Activate the queen. If not possible, place her in the corridor. It is possible, so she's going to come to this room and attack me. So we get infecting queen, gain 1 contamination. If you are not infected with a larva, place a larva on your character board. So shockingly, that did not kill me. It feels like it should have. But okay, I've got a larva token now. Another contamination. This is just a matter of time. So okay, that's what I got for here. Next is this corridor is unexplored with a noise token. We need to resolve it. And we get another queen. So the queen is going to attack me again. And that is miss. Oh, I didn't even know that was in the deck. Nothing happens. Reshuffle the intruder attack deck. Okay. So that was kind of a fun surprise, but also just kill me already. Now this one is unexplored with a noise token. Man, oh man. Getting those 2 events one after the other. A lot of noise. We get a blank token, so we're going to put this back in the bag and add 2 more adult tokens. And finally, just this one here. I can't believe I'm going to potentially make it out of this event alive. Not the game, though. The game is still over, but I'm going to play it till the end. We get an adult. So 3 more adults in that corridor. There are a lot of intruders on the map, if you were not aware of that. So that was a lot of stuff to resolve, huh? This guy fell over. Let's get these 2, 4, 6, 9 noise tokens off the map, and all these other tokens go away. That was a big one. All right, let's get rid of this event card. And now we're going to do bag development. Maybe I'm going to die in the bag development step. We get the queen, indeed. So the queen is going to attack me, and we get bite. If you are heavily injured, which I am, you die. All right. That is it for the heavy gun operator. So a second attempt for me at true solo in Nemesis Retaliation, this time with the heavy gun operator. I'm yet to be successful, but that was okay. You know, I at least achieved the objective. It was just a matter of getting out alive, and depending on the map layout, that could have gone differently. But that was really cool, and I don't think that's just my 10 contamination cards talking. But I really like the exploration aspect of Nemesis Retaliation in comparison to previous Nemesis games. I just really like the whole system and the way they set it up. I haven't done it yet, but I like that you can secure the corridors. That's a really cool mechanic. But additionally, I like that you can't just fully build out the map every time, that there's going to be dead ends. And so you never really know which way the map is going to go. At first, I thought it wasn't going to be too dissimilar from the original Nemesis, where, okay, well, it's kind of, it's hexagonal, but it's kind of a grid and you can move around and you know where rooms are going to be. No, there's a section A, B, and C that each have their specific rooms that are kind of like the 1 and 2 rooms mechanic from the old Nemesis games. But other than that, you don't know how many corridors are going to be connected to each room or what numbers are going to be. So you can get some crazy combos where you get like lots of one number off of a single room, which could be great, could be terrible. It was really interesting that all of the rooms that I drew were section specific. So A, B, C, 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 and none of the question mark rooms, because the stack of question mark rooms is really thick. But I've got to assume that mechanically it needs to be impossible to not draw your objective room, like I was kind of talking about earlier. So I don't know how they achieved that, but there's something at play there. I'll also point out, in case you didn't watch the rules video, which I haven't recorded yet, but is certainly out by now, this tactical belt where I had one of each of these tactical gears, or tactical, tactical tokens, tactical gear tokens. Okay. I had one of each when I started. You can put whatever you want in those slots at the start of the game. So you can load up on oxygen, for example, which is what I ran out of. But they recommend that when you're new, just take one of each because you don't really know what you need and what you're not going to need. So in this case, I probably would have done well to have another oxygen instead of this health, but I don't know that I really knew that at the beginning of the game. But it could be cool if you're playing multi-handed or multiplayer for different characters to load up on different things, and then you can kind of move together and you can trade if you need to, but one person might have a ton of ammo, whereas somebody else might be carrying the oxygen and the health packs. But I didn't appreciate from the rules how much of a difference it makes having an intruder in your room versus in the corridors. Like, you definitely want to take care of them in the corridors if you can, which is much easier to take out that way. And I never really even attacked the queen. I think that's fine. I haven't really looked through all these solo co-op objectives yet, but I imagine there's got to be objectives out there that are about killing the queen. So when I eventually draw one of those, again, assuming it's in the deck, then I'll pursue that with a little more interest. But in the meantime, I really just wanted to get to that escape shuttle or the hibernatorium in this particular playthrough. And as you hopefully gathered, you're going to be killing a lot more intruders in this version of the game than in previous games. I took a number of them out, and there are way more on the board than even came with the previous games. You would never get this many pieces. So it's definitely a whole different ball game. And personally, I'm into it. I think it's a great departure. I'm converted, I think, a little bit, because I followed this campaign and decided, like, I don't think I need another Nemesis game. And my initial thoughts when this campaign was announced for Nemesis Retaliation was, I really only want it if it's going to be similar to the other Nemesis games, because I just want more characters so that they're all cross-compatible. But I've changed my mind on that. I think I really like having a very different Nemesis experience to play rather than just a third box of sort of the same stuff. And this definitely plays differently, but I think it's really cool. Again, I'm really into the exploration part of it in particular. I think that's fun. I think actually being able to take out a bunch of intruders is fun as well. Some of the mechanics around how this board works, that's pretty cool. But I do think that this game will shine at multiplayer more than at solo, and I will certainly at some point be trying to play this multi-handed solo just to give it a shot. That's not my preferred way to play most solo games, but I think the Nemesis series benefits from having multiple characters. One thing I did not interact with at all, besides attacking the queen, I didn't deal with that queen deck up there at all, but the robot as well. I never used the robot, and I would really like to. I just didn't really feel like I had a good opportunity this time. But again, had I been playing two-handed, if I had another character, I would have, because I think I would have moved them together up to the hibernatorium. And then my problem was I was in the room with the robot, but I couldn't move it into this unexplored room because that robots can't do the exploring unless it's the exploration robot. So I would have had to move here and then double back and then tell the robot to move and then go back with it. It would have been like a big pain. And then again, I couldn't have had the robot move because it would have been unexplored. So, but if I had two characters, I could have gone up to the hibernatorium, moved the first character into the next room, had the second character send the robot, and then also go with. Or even park one character here in this server room, which had the computer, and then have one character moving around doing the actual exploring and interacting with the rooms, and have the other character sit here in this room and move the robot around and do things that way. That would have been neat too. Oh, and I now have a better appreciation for this drilling room too, assuming you can get the robot somewhere, moving around on the map. The drilling station says place a new corridor leading from the room with the robot. So had the robot been here in the life support room, for example, this is the way it was set up. There was no corridor here, but you can have it using the drilling station, drill through and add another corridor here so that you can continue to explore and build out the map in the direction you want. So that's actually very strong. So there's definitely a lot of stuff in this game that I haven't seen yet that I am interested in exploring. And if you'd like to see some of that, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss it, because I'm sure I will be playing this some more. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. And if you think I made any mistakes, or if you have any questions, or if you just want to talk about Nemesis Retaliation in general, let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to talk to you down there. Otherwise, you can always share this video with somebody who might enjoy it, or you can find it on Board Game Geek. If you want to head over there, you can leave a like on it on Board Game Geek. And I can engage with you in the comment section there if that's something you want to do. Otherwise, that's all I've got for this solo playthrough. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to winning someday. Thank you again, as always, for watching Table for One, and I will see you in the next video.